Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, DAX. Today is the 2nd of August 2018. So welcome everyone, welcome to this morning session where we're going to have a look at a few instruments. And but before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, just a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers website, and specifically if you click here on JFD Research, it will take you to our page which we update on a daily basis. We throw out different analysis here, so yeah, feel free to check us out, and I believe you can find something useful here for yourselves, guys. So, but for now, let's have a look at the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on is the DAX. Now, the DAX is certainly still within this this bigger formation that I was talking about in one of my previous videos. We can see that this is somewhat a asymmetrical triangle here forming on the. Of course, we do have a bit of a gap here, a bit of a space here, so we can try to class it as a symmetrical triangle here, because at the moment it seems like it's moving in that and within the boundaries of that formation. But certainly also we can see that there is an upside support line here running since the beginning of July, since around the 2nd of July, which continues to kind of support the direction. And certainly, but at the moment we're getting hit here, the index is getting hit here, but to be honest, we're still more positive than bullish than bearish on this one, because looking at this, the upside support line still remains intact, and we could come down here, test it again here, and bounce back up. So could be a possible scenario. We can see that yesterday the index closed below this key level here that I had marked, the 12,760, and now it almost found support yesterday near the 12,700. I do apologize, guys. Early morning for me. But yeah, that's where it found its support yesterday, almost at that level, and certainly these two levels continue to be the ones for us to watch out for, and at this point in time. And certainly, like I said, if we do get a test of this upside support line, we could potentially see a bounce here back up and move towards the upper side of this triangle. Now, certainly, of course, as you probably understand, according to all technical analysis, if we do get a nice break here below this upside support line, we could start positioning ourselves maybe for a possible move lower. Certainly, the question here is how low would it actually go? As low as this lower side of the triangle, or actually would it reverse somewhere around here next to, let's say, the 12,470 level, which was marked here by the lows of the 23rd of July, and reverse from here and move higher again, or actually would continue breaking it? So this is, of course, the big question, which we always try to figure out the answer for. But for now, what we can definitely look at and monitor is this area right here. So the area between the 12,700 and the 12,760 now, and specifically this upside support line, guys. So short-term upside support line. So for now, keep an eye on it. Let's see if it wants to bounce off of it or not. But then if it decides to push higher, this is the area that we're keeping an eye on, the upper bound of the so-called triangle here, symmetrical triangle. Okay, let's jump into one of the commodities now, and well, probably precious metal, I would say. And this is what's happening with gold right now. Now, gold found support yesterday at around this 12,115, and certainly we can see that it bounced back up here. At the moment, it remains as a tricky one to trade. Certainly, we can see that it does like this 1215 level. We would need to see a nice clear break and a close on a day below this level in order to kind of start positioning ourselves for a possible test of the 1205 level. Now 1205 has been a very nice strong area of support here in the past. As you can see, this was the level right here, seen last July, and this could play out as a nice potential area of support, initial support, only of course if we get a break below this 1215 level. So something for you guys to keep an eye on. Of course, we're seeing this daily candle now pushing to the upside, but like I said, the day has just started, and we could maybe see a reversal back down here. Even let's say if we put a 4-hour chart here, we can see that at the moment it is trying to climb higher, but it's currently getting held here by this 21 EMA here, shown as the yellow line. Certainly we could see a bit of a pop here, but keep an eye on this 50 EMA then. If this continues to prove as a very good area of resistance, then we could see maybe a potential reversal, and who knows, maybe a nice break here below this 1215 level. So something for you guys to keep an eye on. But for us to become, let's say, more let's say to take the bullish side and aim for higher levels, we would need to see a full reversal here back up, not only above this 1237 level, but also above this this long-term upside support line that has been running since around December 2015. So something for you guys to keep an eye on. And if we do get a nice break and a close here above, well, like I said, this could interest more bulls, and we could see maybe this one traveling back towards the 1261 level. Okay, let's jump into a few pairs quickly now, and the first one I want to touch on is the euro dollar. To be honest, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, and I'm going to jump into a 4-hour chart straight away, and we can see that this is what I was talking about yesterday. And basically, after we got our break here below the 117 level, during the time when I was doing this, running this last video where I discussed the euro, it was trading around these EMAs here, and I was telling you guys to keep an eye on this 116.50 level that could prove itself to be a very nice potential area of support. Certainly, we managed to reach that level. We're now seeing a bit of rejection here. Certainly, we could see maybe a bit of a move back up here, a little bit of a correction, and then maybe a continuation again to the downside, because judging by this daily chart, we can see that at the moment the it is looking slightly more to the bearish side rather than the bullish. So guys, for now, keep an eye on the 116,500. Let's see if it breaks it again, and if we do get a break here below this 116.50, then the next potential area of support could be around this 116.20 mark, which was the low here that we saw around the 27th of July. Let's jump into one of the more probably very relevant pairs for today. That would be the GBPUSD. So certainly, as you probably are aware, we do have the Bank of England coming out today with their interest rate decision, and of course the expectation is to see a rise, and certainly at the moment it's not going to do anything here. It's going to just stick around this area where it's trading at right now, and probably wait for the news so that it could make a nice good move. And judging by these daily candles, these previous daily candles, probably it looks like that we could actually get a big bodied candle today, because of course the news could drive it, and we could see maybe either a pop here to the upside where we could hit the upper bound of this falling channel that the pair is still within, or we actually could start breaking this 130.80 level. Let me just quickly jump back into the 4-hour chart on this one, and this is what's how it looks. And certainly keep an eye on the possible, like I said, possible breaking point around the 130.80. If we do get a break here below, then well, we could eventually start aiming for the 129.95. Certainly before that, we could hit the the psychological 130 level, but like I said, for us to kind of to take more the bearish side, we would need to see a nice break here below this 130.80 in order to kind of position ourselves for a possible test of the psychological 130, or even slightly below that, the 129.95 area. Okay, and again, with the upside, well, we do have, like I said, this upper bound, which, let's say, if broken, and this is the interesting bit actually about the, about this formation. If we get a break here above, not only above the upper bound of the falling channel, but also a nice good break and a close above the 132.15 level. Now this is where it could become more interesting for the bulls, and we could see them driving this pair a little bit higher here, maybe even towards the 132.95 or even towards the 133.65. Now the last one is marked here by the high that we saw around the 9th of July. Certainly, and then if we do get a scenario like this, then we will evaluate the pair at a later stage. But for now, keep on monitoring and probably wait for the BOE announcement. One more pair quickly that I want to touch on, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. Just to want to show you guys, we're still here within this range on the Euro-Aussie, and certainly it's a bit of a choppy session, or we'll say, I know, range traders paradise, and certainly this at the moment, it's the question here is how long will this continue. But for us, to be honest, to take any position here, we would need to see a nice good break and a close above either the upper bound of the range here or the lower bound. So something for you guys to keep on monitoring. We cannot adjust this arrow here. There we go. So, certainly if we do get a break here below, this is something to watch out for. This is where we could eventually move towards the lower levels here. So something for you guys to keep an eye on. But for now, of course, keep on monitoring these boundaries here. Another one quickly wanted to touch on, and that's USDCAD. Now USDCAD certainly continues to slowly move lower. It's trying to fight back here. We can see that the bulls are trying to fight back, but still kind of at the end of the day they're unsuccessful, and at the moment we're still targeting this this upside support line, this medium term upside support line that has been running since around the 2nd of February, and we could eventually get a test of that, and this could prove to be a nice bouncing ground for this pair. And that's around, also the level to watch around there could be the 129.50. So for now, certainly the direction is still to the downside, even though we're getting a bit of a fight back here from the bulls, and they're trying to push it towards the 130.25 level. So if we do get a nice break and a close above the 130.25 level today, for example, we could maybe expect a bit of a correction here to the upside, maybe even going back towards this 50 EMA, or maybe slightly higher. But for now, certainly keep a close eye on this 130.25. Let's see if on the shorter time scale it actually holds and we get a rejection here, because as you can see from the 4-hour chart, we do have the 21 EMA running here as well, and as you can see in the past, the 21 EMA also held nicely the pair here from pushing higher. So for now, all eyes are on this. Let's see what it wants to do with it. And the last pair that I really wanted to touch on was the NZDUSD. And the NZDUSD, and just looking at this daily picture right now, we can see that we're stuck here between these two lines, so the upside support line that has been running since around the 2nd of July, and this this horizontal resistance line here that we marked by these highs that we saw around the 9th July and the 26th of July, and that's around the 0.6850. Now this area proves to be quite important area to watch. If we do like to go long here, we would probably need to see a nice good break and a close above this level in order to kind of start positioning ourselves for higher levels. But on the downside, as you can see, it's currently trying to move towards the towards this little small area of support at around 0.6765. Now if we do get a break here, and if we do get a nice close below this level, then well, I mean, we could end up moving lower and testing this upside support line that I was just talking about. Now this could also prove to be a nice bouncing ground, but if the pair decides to break it, then well, it is opening the path towards these lows, the lows that we saw here around the 19th of July and the 2nd of July. Now these levels here are the 0.6715 and the 0.6690 level. So good ones to watch, but only if we get a nice break here below this upside support line. So guys, okay, that's it for today's session. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope you have a good European session. And if you want to join me later on in my Traders Tea Time, and that's 13:15 GMT, 14:15 British Summer Time. But for now, thank you very much, and bye-bye.